Alright, let's dive into something that's got the horror community buzzing. Imagine this, a cult classic from the 90s, a movie so bizarre it carved out its own little niche in horror history, is finally getting a sequel after 3 decades. Yes, you heard that right. Head of the Family 2, Sirens of Seduction is officially happening, and personally, I think this is one of those moments where nostalgia meets modern horror in the most intriguing way. But let's break this down, because there's a lot more here than just a sequel announcement. First off, the original Head of the Family from 1996 is one of those movies that sticks with you. Not because it's a masterpiece, but because it's weird. I mean, a villain with an oversized head? It's the kind of practical effect that screams 90s horror. And it's fascinating to see Full Moon doubling down on that aesthetic. Michael Citriniti is back as Myron Stackpole. And what makes this really interesting is that they're not trying to modernize or CGI their way out of the character's grotesqueness. Tom Devlin's 1313FX is handling the practical effects, which, in my opinion, is a bold move in today's digital-heavy landscape. It's a nod to the hands-on, gritty charm of the original, and I'm here for it. Now let's talk about the plot. The synopsis alone is a wild ride. Myron's back, still obsessed with reclaiming a normal human body, and he's using cursed shrunken heads, beautiful women, mind you, to lure in the greedy and desperate. But here's the twist. These sirens realize they're meant to be his final sacrifice and turn against him. What this really suggests is a story that's not just about horror, but also about agency and rebellion. It's a detail I find fascinating because it adds a layer of depth to what could have been a straightforward monster flick. Are these sirens just victims, or are they becoming something more? This raises a deeper question about the nature of villainy, and whether even the most monstrous characters can be outsmarted by their own creations. The cast is another point worth discussing. Alongside Citriniti, we've got Sarah Moliski and Emma Massalone as the sirens Pauline and Sarah. Both actresses have been making waves in the indie horror scene, and I'm curious to see how they bring these cursed characters to life. What many people don't realize is that casting in horror can make or break a film, especially when you're dealing with such over-the-top concepts. These actresses need to balance seduction, desperation, and a hint of menace, and I'm excited to see how they pull it off. Full Moon's approach to fan engagement is also something to highlight. They're offering behind-the-scenes access through their Patreon, which from my perspective is a smart move. Horror fans are some of the most passionate out there, and giving them a peek into the making of the film could build a lot of goodwill. But here's where it gets interesting. The $250 executive producer tier. For that price, you get an executive producer credit on the film. If you take a step back and think about it, this is Full Moon essentially crowdfunding their project, while giving fans a sense of ownership. It's a win-win, but it also makes me wonder, how much influence will these executive producers actually have? Or is it just a fancy title for superfans? Lastly, let's talk about the timing. Why now? Why after 30 years? Personally, I think it's a combination of nostalgia and the current horror landscape. With the success of films like The Empty Man and Malignant, there's a renewed interest in weird, practical effects-driven horror. Full Moon's decision to revive this cult classic feels like they're tapping into that trend while staying true to their roots. But here's the thing. Will it resonate with today's audience? Or will it feel like a relic of the past? That's the million-dollar question. So here's my closing thought. Head of the Family 2, Sirens of Seduction isn't just a sequel, it's a statement. It's Full Moon saying, we're still here, we're still weird, and we're not afraid to embrace what makes us unique. Whether it'll be a hit or a miss remains to be seen, but one thing's for sure, it's got me intrigued. What about you? Are you excited for this revival, or do you think some cult classics are better left untouched? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more deep dives into the world of horror. Until next time, keep it spooky.